Hey, everybody. Thank you guys so much for jumping on tonight. I am so excited about this training tonight. About a month ago, I started a trial on a CRM system, and it's called Teamzy. And I really wasn't expecting much, but within days, it changed my business forever. And I am so excited tonight to introduce you to the founder of this amazing system. And he has a proven track record, and we are completely honored to have Eric Johnson on. And I'm just going to go ahead and let you take it away.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here with you all, and thank you for welcoming me into your homes, and I'm coming to you from my home in San Diego, California. So we are going to have some fun tonight. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through and show you how to set Teamzy up. I know some of you are probably already using it, maybe not. It's really easy to set up. I'm going to take you through the paces on how to just absolutely destroy a power hour, right? And what by power hour, what I mean is all of your income producing activities you need to be doing every day, getting them done in less than 1 hour. Okay, so you can build a huge business and still go enjoy life. That's the reason why we got into this business, right? So I'm going to show you how to do that. I'll do a full Q&A at the end of the training as well. But before I jump into the software itself, I need to teach you a little bit about relationship marketing, which is the system Teamzy is built on. See, Teamzy is not just a CRM software. What a boring day that would be if that's what we were going to talk about. It's based on a proven system for building business by relationship. I want to teach you a little bit about that first so you understand the philosophy of the system, and then I'll show you how the software makes you able to do that incredibly easily. Make sense? Okay, so let's just dive right in. Now, I've got you all muted, okay? So I don't want you to be too concerned about that. We're going to just keep you muted till the end for Q&A, but if you feel the spirit move you have the power to unmute yourself, right? Because sometimes that may happen. But here's what I want to talk to you about first: how to systemize your success with relationship marketing to become a power hour boss. My staff always teases me about my long titles. I just think the title should tell you exactly what we're going to talk about, right? It's a system we're going to follow that I'm going to teach you. It's about building relationships, and it's going to help you get everything done in less than an hour. Okay? So my backstory, I know most of you don't know me. We haven't met. My background is not in direct sales or network marketing. It's not my background. My background is in business coaching and consulting. I've been a professional business coach for, gosh, what is this year? 2020? 19 years. I've been helping people build businesses based on authentic relationships for 19 years. About 6 years ago or so, I fell into network marketing by accident. I was just kind of looking for a little something on the side. How many of you guys can relate to that? And I had no experience with it. In fact, I was kind of jaded and skeptical about it because when I was 21, somebody got me to talk me into buying a garage full of water filters. So I was a little skeptical about network marketing, but I just kind of give you guys some of the background at the time. This is my family, and I'm incredibly blessed. And my family means the world to me. I'm sure it's the same for you guys with yours as well. I had gotten to a point in my career as a business coach and consultant where I was doing pretty well, right? I made beyond 6 figures. I was well respected. I loved what I did. The challenge was I was never around my family. I just was never around them. I would see my kids in the morning. When I left for work, they'd still be in their pajamas. When I came home from work, they'd be back in their pajamas getting ready for bed. And, I had about 30 minutes a night with my wife before we were both exhausted. I felt like I had a career, but no life. Does this make sense? I don't know if some of you guys can relate to that. On the other hand, financially, everything looked great, but honestly, we were kind of stuck. We were kind of in we were just stuck. There was nowhere for me to grow, and we'd outgrown our home. I live in Southern California, so homes are a bit pricey. And there was just no way I could ever imagine us moving into a home with enough room for all of our kids. And I just didn't know what to do. And so the network marketing opportunity kind of fell in my lap as a side hustle, something I could do on the side. I felt like if I could just make $500 a month doing that, boy, that would just give us a lot of breathing room, right? And maybe I could even replace my full-time career and have more time with my family. So here's my challenge though, guys, just to kind of give you an idea. I told you, I just didn't have any time. How many of you guys relate to the fact that you just don't have a lot of extra time? When the heck am I going to do this? And I remember my sponsor asking me, Eric, how much time per day can you devote to this business? And I looked at him and I said, maybe an hour. He goes, okay, well, great. Well, that's something. So then I started thinking about it. Okay, look, if I was looking at this from this perspective of a business coach, what would I tell myself? Okay, well, you just need to find some tools to leverage your time so you can use it that 1 hour efficiently. I figured there must be tools, right? 20 million people in the US alone, full time working on network marketing. There's no tools. There were no tools, by the way. Nothing. I mean, people made trackers and things. And I just want you guys to know, like, after I got my first iPhone, I was never going to write things on pads of paper again. I wanted everything to be in my pocket at all times. And so I started looking for tools, and honestly, they didn't exist. Or the ones that did exist were like the CRMs used at work that you hate to use. So long story short, I found people smarter than me to build Teamzy for me. And we launched it just 4 years ago. We launched Teamzy. And to kind of give you guys an idea of what happened in those 4 years, I had no idea it was going to take off like it did. We had more than 100,000 network marketers use Teamzy. I've actually spoken to more than 100,000 network marketers from my office, like I'm doing with you right now, in 4 years. Isn't that crazy? Without ever getting on a big stage, just talking to people like this. And our active users, people using Teamzy actively, they're averaging 21 new customers and 9 recruits over 90 days. Okay, 21 new customers and 9 recruits over 90 days. That's kind of the average you can expect working the system consistently. Okay, may even do much better than that. And some of you may be already experiencing that even in your first month. Okay, so I just wanted to kind of give you the background to that. And the idea behind Teamzy was how to leverage that amount of time that you might spend half a day and get it done in 1 hour. Now let's bring it back a little bit and talk about relationship marketing. What is relationship marketing? How many of you have heard this term before? Suddenly it's like a buzzword. The problem is that most people use this term, but they don't really understand what it should mean. Most people think it's like selling things to your friends, right? Or taking advantage of relationships so that you can sell things. I want you guys to understand a couple things. One, relationship marketing is a philosophy of doing business that puts relationships and people ahead of sales and products. It puts relationships and people ahead of sales and products. Some of you are like, oh, good. That's the way I like to work. Also, I want you to also know it's not an abstract feel-good concept. This is a proven system that we follow, always knowing what to do next. Always knowing what to do next. I have coached people in every type of business on this system. It's not just for network marketing. This is how you build a business the real way, by relationship. Okay, so what is relationship marketing? Again, it's a lead generation system. This is the next piece of it. It's a lead generation system. That's a system that initiates consumer interest or inquiry into the products or services of a business. It's actually a way to build your business, right? And I want you guys to understand something. You're business owners, right? Your first decision as a business owner is which lead generation system are you going to put in place in your business? Because your business is lead generation. Your business is lead generation. What do I mean by lead generation? I mean initiating inquiry, initiating interest into your business. That's your job. Make sense? Here's a principle I want you to get down. Developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. Developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. It's not to make money. It's not to make sales. It's not to rank up. It's to develop relationships. And if your focus is on developing relationships, your business is going to grow, okay, in an authentic way. Because what we do with relationships is we turn them into advocates. We turn them into advocates by investing time and providing outstanding service. Just really quick on this. Get this concept, you guys. Just about everybody out in our industry is teaching you what you need to do is make a list and hit it hard. Cold message everybody on the list. Yeah, most of them will say no. Don't worry about them. You're just getting closer to yeses. Have you guys heard this kind of thing? Then what happens to all the no's? You throw them away like dead bodies. Friends, family. Now they don't want to talk to you because they're worried you're going to try to push your business on them. In our approach, we're working on relationships, not getting sales. Okay? And so what happens is the people who aren't interested now, we're still deepening relationships. We're turning people into advocates. Every single person that knows you, if you're working this system, they're either going to be your customer, join your team, or they're still going to be an advocate, bringing people to your business. There's going to be people who don't want Xyngular, who will recommend it to their friends and family because they trust you so much. Does this make sense? This is how the business grows, you guys. And I know you guys are going, this feels right to me. This feels like integrity. And it is. And it works. Okay, next principle. Relationship marketing depends on trust. Absolutely depends on trust. In other words, if you're a jerk, it ain't going to work. Okay? It ain't going to work. And the things that maybe you've heard people, famous trainers, sometimes corporate will recommend things because they've heard it works that make you feel a little bit icky on the inside. Have you guys ever experienced that? You're like, ooh, I don't know if I want to do that, or I don't know if I feel comfortable doing that. Relationship marketing depends on trust. Anything that you do that's even a slight bit tricky or disingenuous is going to knock it all down like a house of cards. So the good news is you don't have to do anything you don't feel comfortable with, because you need to understand that the real way to build this business is by being transparent and authentic from day one. Okay? But it works. Here's the cool thing. Trust makes the work fun. It's going to be fun. You don't have to convince people. You don't have to sell people. When they trust you, you get right to helping them, right? Also, there's no ickiness. You're never going to feel like an icky salesperson when you're building trust. Also, you get to go for yes. Forget the going for no stuff. No's don't get you closer to yeses. They just get you feeling dejected. We get to go for yes because we're building people up constantly. Make sense? Okay, so let me just give you the really quick some steps on how to build trust. If it depends on trust and your focus is relationships, you need to focus on how to build trust with people. Okay? There's 4 essential ingredients to building trust. And I know I'll go through them quickly and then I'll break them out for you guys. Here they are. Number 1 is chemistry. Okay, chemistry. Number 2 is character. Character is number 2. Number 3 is competence. Okay, competence. And number 4 is consistency. Chemistry, character, competence, consistency. The 4 essential ingredients to building trust. All right, let's talk about these a little bit. Chemistry is where you have common ground with someone. What is it about you they can relate to? Okay, chemistry is where you have common ground with someone. What is it about you they can relate to? Let me just put it simply. Nobody wants to do business with someone they don't like, right? And we all would prefer to do business with a friend. So your first job in building trust is to find what you have in common with people. Build chemistry, right? Ask questions, find what you have in common. I shouldn't have to tell you guys this because I know you're all adults, but I'm going to say it anyways because I feel I have to say it a lot. The opposite of this is dividing. So our job is to find common ground with people, which means avoid dividing people. Okay? So if you're building a business, I don't recommend you get real opinionated on social media and things like that. Find what's in common with people. Love people up. From what I understand about Xyngular, can help everybody, right? Every human being could use it and get helped by it. Yeah, great. So focus on that. How do you find common ground with people? What is it about you they can relate to? Number 2 is character. Is it important that somebody has character before you want to do business with them? Yeah, totally. Character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you're relatable. Okay, character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you're relatable. I want you to notice something. Character is not something you have. You don't actually have character. Character is something you do on a daily basis. It's a daily action. Okay? So I know some of you are like, well, I'm a person of good character. Who knows that? Nobody knows that. You have to show people. You have to show people your character. Does it make sense? And this business is you. You are the business. It's you that people will trust. Okay? So it's about demonstrating your character, your care for others. How are you helping people, right? How do you follow up with your customers? Are you showing care? How do you connect with people? Are you showing care? Is it all about you? How are you posting on social media? Is it about something that the audience can relate to, or is it all about you? Are you a courteous person in traffic while driving? These things are all important, you guys. Don't put a Xyngular sticker on your car and then cut people off, right? No one wants to do business with you in that situation. Return your shopping carts in the parking lot, all that stuff. It's all about building character because it's really important. People want to do business with somebody that shows they care about them. Number 3 is competence. Competence is when you demonstrate you're good at what you do and you're a business person. Okay, there's two pieces to it. Competence is when you demonstrate you're good at what you do and you're a business person. The first step is, oh my gosh, I have been struggling with my health for years. No matter what I try, I cannot lose weight and get healthy. Can you help me? Do you know enough about what you do and what Xyngular offers that you could actually help me with this? Do I feel you're competent at this? I need to know that before I become your customer. Make sense? The second piece is, now that you're helping me and this is great, do I trust you enough to join your team and do I think you can mentor me in this business? The first piece is, are you competent enough to sell to me? And the second piece is, are you competent enough to lead me? Competence is a huge piece of trust. And here's the thing, when you're new, you don't have it, right? You don't have it. You can't pretend to. No one will believe you. So what you want to do, you guys have ever heard the term fake it till you make it? Yeah, don't do that. No faking. Remember, it's all about trust. So here's the thing, when you're new, you need to get on like, your mission is to get competent, to learn, to absorb, take all the trainings, do all the trainings that are offered by corporate on the back office, from your team, go to the events, right? Learn from your upline, learn as much as you can about how the products work, how they help people, and share that journey towards competence out loud on social media with the people you're talking to. Oh my gosh, I just learned this. Oh my gosh, I just learned that. Does this make sense? So people see the competence growing. They start to trust that. The same thing with the business, with the business. As you become more confident in the business, share that journey so people see your competence. But when you're new, what you need to do is lean into the competence of your team and your upline. Look, your friends and family have seen you with your pants on backwards. They don't believe you at first. Does it make sense? So you just need to tell them how amazing your team is, tell them their story so that they know you are connected to competence. Does this make sense? So when you're new, it doesn't matter. As long as you can connect to the competence of your upline and lean into them, you can build that trust with people. Make sense? So the first three things for building trust: chemistry, character, competence. Huge, right? There's one principle behind these real quick, and then I'll jump into number 4. Here's the principle behind these. When somebody's going to do business with you, they only care about 3 things. Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Are you good at what you do? Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Are you good at what you do? Now, when you're just starting with a relationship, they don't know the answers to these questions, which is why they're going to have objections and questions, and you're going to have to help them through the process. As you build relationships, you guys, I just want you to understand something. When people feel that all 3 of these are a solid yes, whether or not they're interested in your product, they will be your advocate. They will be oh, you have this problem? You need to talk to my friend, Melissa. This is what she does all day long. I'm going to connect you. This is what will happen all day long. I just want you guys to know, after about 6 months of applying this system in my business, I would have 1 or 2 people introduced to me every single day randomly out of the blue by people. It was crazy and awesome. Okay, next. Consistency, number 4. Consistency. Is it important for someone to be consistent before we trust them? Absolutely. Probably the most important thing, right? How many of you guys have kids? It's pretty important. Man, if you're not consistent one time, do your kids ever forget it? Remember that time you let me eat ice cream for breakfast? The precedence has been set, Dad. Consistency. Here's the principle on this. People respect consistency and desire it for themselves. People respect consistency and desire it for themselves. People trust you when you're consistent, but they also want to be around you because of it. It draws people to your team. Being consistent builds trust, but it also brings people to you. They want to be around it. How many of you just love the community, the Xyngular community, the team vibe, all of that, right? It's huge, isn't it? You didn't know that's what you were going to love in the beginning, but it draws people in. Okay, real quick question on this. How many of you, and if you guys have your cameras on or off, turn them on real quick. I want to see your faces. How many of you guys are really good about using your products as part of your daily life? You guys use your products. It's your products are the product. Okay, good. That's good. 100%. Excellent. How many of you are consistent about sharing your journey on social media? That's pretty great too. I'm pleased with that. Good. Those are important things to do, right? Yeah, Absolutely. In fact, when you go into Teamzy, and I'll show you in a second, one of the little things you have to do every day is check off, did you actually use your products today? Did you actually share on social media today? These are things that you just to remind you that that's so important. But here's the real important question, the checkup from the neck up, as one of my favorite mentors, Xyngular, used to say. Are you consistently touching all your relationships? Because that is what matters most when building this business, right? Some of you guys are like feeling convicted. That's why you're here on the call with the Teamzy guy, by the way. It's all good. It's all good. All right. So let's get back into this. Staying in touch with your relationships. Sometimes we lean on social media, but connecting with people is really where the rubber meets the road. Relationship building is a contact sport, not like football. It's just that you need to be in contact with people. You need to be in regular contact with people. Here's an important principle. This is the big principle of the day. Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Okay? Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. And deepening relationships is how we build our business. Just real quick on this, and we're going to jump into Teamzy now. But let me ask you all a question. How many of you have ever received a card or a letter from a loved one? It had a handwritten message in it. And when you read that message, oh my gosh, it just touched your heart. How many of you guys have ever received something great like that from somebody you love? Hopefully everybody, right? Seriously, if you've never received a card like that, please put your address in the chat, and we're all going to write you one tonight, okay? Because everyone should have some of those. Here's the thing though. Do you still have the card that you were thinking about? How many of you still have it somewhere? You've kept it? Everybody, right? Everybody. I train in every country that speaks English. I haven't ventured outside of that. And everybody saves them. How many of you have a special place where you've kept, you have a pile of these things you've saved over the years? Yeah, we all do. In fact, when we pass away, often what is most treasured? Those cards and letters. Does anybody have a card or letter from a loved one that you've saved that's gone, that's not here anymore? It's powerful, isn't it? Powerful. Now look, here's another example. Somewhere on my messy desk, I've got this example. I know I just saw it because my daughter was just messing with it. Here it is. That's the nice thing about a stand-up desk. You can't tell it's messy, can you? It looks super organized. Okay. This is a birthday postcard. Happy birthday to me. I got this from my life insurance salesperson. It's a little postcard that says happy birthday. Is that a nice thing to get? Have you guys ever received something like this from somebody that you do business with? Yeah. Did you save this in the special place? How many of you threw this away pretty much immediately? Absolutely. Do you think my son is going to keep this one when I'm gone and use it as his Bible bookmark forever to remember what a great guy dad was? No. This has no value. And on the surface, it seems the same. It's a card wishing me happy birthday, right? It even has some handwriting printed on the back. You see the handwriting? But here's why this has no value and why all of you threw it away. The principle I just taught you, that if you want to deepen a relationship, you have to invest time and connect with somebody. Neither one was fulfilled by this. This required no investment of time, so it has no value to me. This was not personal. It was a bulk mailing. In fact, my name's not even on it, by the way. It just says, here's to another great year of you. You. Okay? That's like hun or sweetie or pal, right? That people text each other right now, which is now the new meme like of shame for network marketing. Hey, hun, want to tell you, it's like, you don't know my name, right? It's not personal and it required no time. It doesn't have any value. We throw it in the trash. I want you guys to understand that what we're going to do with Teamzy is I'm going to help you invest time and connect with people one-on-one in a way that feels like it takes no time. It feels like it's automated, but it's very personal for the person on the receiving end. Does this make sense? And anything out there to build your business that seems sexy and attractive because it has marketing automation. Have you guys ever heard that term, marketing automation? Usually is impersonal and requires no time and is not valued by the receiving end. Does this make sense? So just remember that. Invest time connecting with people. That's how you deepen a relationship. All right, let's jump into Teamzy. Let me show you this. I think I have one more slide here. So you guys all got that one. This is all great, right? Sounds good. I see you guys nodding. You're like, yep, Eric's my new spirit animal. I feel like we're connecting. Great. But here's the thing, guys. It's not enough to have a philosophy. You got to have a system. You have to have something you can do every day and repeat so you can do it consistently. Something that's simple enough that you can bring a new person onto the team and say, just do this. Okay. You need a way to stay in contact with all your relationships so you can invest time and deepen them, right? You need to know when to contact people. You need to know when not to contact people. In other words, I want a system that tells me when to do it so I don't have to think, right? Know what you're going to say so you don't get stuck staring at the screen all day in analysis paralysis, going, oh my gosh, what do I say to this person? And then doing nothing. And you need to make sure that nobody falls through the cracks. Okay. And I guarantee you, if you're tracking on a pad of paper or on a spreadsheet somewhere, there are people falling through the cracks. We need a system that makes sure that doesn't happen. All right. So let's show you what that looks like. I'm going to toggle right over to Teamzy. Now, first off, if you're not already using Teamzy, go to teamzy.com and start a free trial. It's 100% free for the first 30 days. Okay. It's a no-brainer. We won't even ask for your credit card information or anything to get started. Okay. You can go in there and tell me your name's Mickey Mouse. I don't care. You can get your free trial. However, you would miss out later on all of my cool blog articles and stuff, but that's a different story. Okay, the reason why I do the free trial is because I just want you to know that you can get in there and try it. And even if, as my dad would say, you don't have 2 shekels to rub together, you can create momentum in your business in that first 30 days and get rocking. Okay, now when you log into your free trial, you guys see my Teamzy screen now? Okay, when you log into your free trial, it's going to take you into a setup wizard, which is designed to make setting this up super easy. I mean, I'm not a techie person. It had to be easy for me to use, okay? Here's a little video from me. We'll skip that. This is the setup wizard now. I'm going to show you what it looks like. So the first big thing I want you to do is set an income goal. Okay, once you tell Teamzy your income goal, Teamzy is going to tell you what to do to achieve it. So whatever your goal is, the income level you'd like to be at in your business, let's say 12 months from now, put it in here. So my goal was 150,000 because that was the salary I was earning and I wanted to replace it. So look, 150,000. So when you slide this slider to your goal, you can see that the daily connects you're supposed to be doing changes based on your goal. So at 150, Teamzy's telling me what I need to do each day for 12 months to get to my goal is connect with 9 prospects, 6 of my customers, and 4 distributors on my team. Okay? 19 connects a day. Now, it's going to freak you guys out to know that I could do 19 connects in 15 minutes. Pretty cool, right? But we'll get there in a minute. And it might take you 30 if you're new, but that's okay. So once you get this goal wherever you want it, click continue. And, oh, I took too long talking about it. Let me just refresh my page. Once you get the goal where you want it, I put it where I want it. Click continue. Oh, I want it at 150. Come on. It wants me to go bigger. Teamzy's telling me to go bigger. All right, next page, we're going to get all your contacts into Teamzy. Okay, you're going to get all your contacts into Teamzy. You can get back to this import page from inside Teamzy whenever you want. There's a little button that says add contact. You just click that whenever you want to get back to this page. So what we'll do here is get all your contacts in. We're going to get your back office contacts in, right? Your team, your customers. You can import all your Facebook friends into Teamzy, which is so cool, right? And wherever you have contacts, I want you to get them all into Teamzy, one place, organized, so that you don't have to go looking for little sticky notes and pads of paper and, you know, whatever it is where you've got contact information, digging through your phone. It's all in one place, organized. And I'm going to show you what Teamzy does to your list for you, which is kind of amazing as well, which is why you want them in here. But Teamzy is in the cloud, which means that it's always available to you if you have a smartphone in your hand. How many of you guys have a smartphone nearby? Yeah. 2 of you were like, oh crap, where's my phone? And they just turned off their camera and ran out of the room, right? Because we can't be away from them anymore. So Teamzy will always be with you. If you run into somebody at the grocery store and you're talking and you want to add them to Teamzy, you can pull it out and add their contact information right then, right into your phone, and it's in your CRM, ready to go, your follow-up set, everything. It's pretty cool. All right, so then we're ready to launch Teamzy. We've got all our contacts in, great. Here's the Teamzy dashboard. I'll give you a quick tour of this, and then we'll do our power hour together, okay? Real quick, for those of you who haven't seen it, this is the desktop view, meaning I'm on a computer. You can do this on your smartphone, and it's gonna just look a little bit different because it has to fit a different size screen, okay? But here's what Teamzy looks like. Here's my today's activities right here, this section. These are my goals for the day, okay? My goal is to connect with 9 prospects. You can see I've done 0 so far. To connect with 6 of my customers and 4 of my distributors. Now, when I say connect, just to clarify, I'm not sending them some cheesy cold script. Hi, would you like to try this new product? Would you watch this little video, please, and tell me your opinion? Right? Because that stuff that's been done to all your friends, and nobody wants that done to them anymore. Right? True? What I mean is just connect to make somebody's day. That's it. Connect to make somebody's day. I call it the make someone's day mindset. That's where I want you to live. You're just going to connect to make somebody's day. That gives you a chance to have an actual conversation. Okay. And I'm going to show you how to do that in a second. So we're going to connect with prospects, customers, and distributors. Then we're going to have a goal to share 3 times a day. And when I say share, that's when I share the products or I share the business opportunity with somebody. My goal is 3 times a day. I'm going to try to share the business, even though I'm going to talk to upwards of 19 people a day. I'm not going to share with everybody. Not everyone's going to be ready to hear that. Make sense? And then I've also got a goal to add new people to Teamzy. I want to always be putting new people in Teamzy. So I'm creating new relationships and creating fresh energy in my business. Make sense? Okay. So those are my daily goals: prospects, customers, distributors, shares, and ads. All you need to do is focus on what your goal is for today. This is the magic of Teamzy. That's how you can get in and be done in an hour and go back about your life. Because if you want to build your business big, guys, this is a big principle for business coaching. If you want a business that's big, you got to keep a focus that's small. Okay? You got to keep your focus small. You just need to do today's activities. Now, down here where it says Power Hour, this is where I do my work. And this section here is designed to help me do it so incredibly efficiently. It's crazy. Teamzy serves you up 4 lists on the left: prospects, customers, distributors, and follow-ups. Okay. The left side, it gives you the lists. The right side is where I log that connection or message as I'm sending them so that it's logged and tracked. Okay. I don't have to think about who to connect with. I just connect with whoever's up next. Now, just one thing I want you to notice on this is notice how each name has a number next to it. That number is their star rating. How many of you have used a 5-star system to rate anything in your life? Everything, right? 5 stars for everything. So in Teamzy, you're going to rate your relationships on a 5-star scale. Okay. That determines how great a relationship or how warm or how hot you think they'll be towards Xyngular, right? You give them a higher rating. So let me just kind of go through real quick what these ratings mean. And this is the magic, guys, because once you've rated your list, Teamzy will automatically tell you who to connect with every day. It cycles all of the people in front of you. Nobody will ever fall through the cracks, but you'll be connecting more with the best people, which makes the most sense, right? So here we go. 5 stars, a 5-star person. These are your best friends and your closest family members, your 5-star people. They're also someone most likely, in your opinion, to become a customer or distributor. Okay. They're the people that maybe they already are a customer and they're your favorite customer. Maybe they're your rock star distributors on your team. 5-star people are your favorite people. They come up on your list first and they come back every 30 days, no matter what. They come back. You get a reminder to connect again. Okay. So you're staying in touch with them the most. A 4-star person, this is somebody who's likely to become a customer or distributor with a little bit of nurturing. These are your friends and family, just maybe not your closest circle, your 4-star people. They're going to come up next after the 5 stars, and then they show back up every 60 days. So they're cycling through a little bit less often. Every 60 days, they come back on your list. A 3-star could really go either way. A 3-star person, you just don't know. I'd say 80 to 90% of the people you know or that are on your list in Teamzy will be 3 stars. Okay? You just don't know yet until you start connecting. Right? 3-star people will come up after the 5s, after the 4s, then the 3s, and they come back every 90 days. So they're cycling through your list every 90 days. You're staying in touch, warming them up. Make sense? 2 stars, getting a bit colder, they show up every 120 days. Does this make sense? So the more stars you give somebody, they show up first and they come back more often. Once you've gone through and ranked your list one time, even if all you did was go through your list and pick out the 5s and the 4s to start, Teamzy can start intelligently creating your daily action plan. You never have to think or plan. Okay. Now, Melissa had said something to me when the call started, before a lot of you were even on yet, that in her 30-day trial, she has already earned, was it 8 times the subscription fees to Teamzy in her first 30 days, something like that, something crazy, crazy awesome like that. Why is that? Because it just, and she said they were people she would have never really reached out to, because Teamzy's just putting them on her list and she's connecting. Okay. So let's go ahead and dive in here and do a power hour. Let me just demonstrate the workflow so you guys can see how easy it is and how cool this is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect with my prospects first, start from left to right for a power hour. And the first person up is Melissa. Okay. So I'm going to send her a message. Remember, my goal is just to make her day. Melissa and I are Facebook friends, so I'm going to message her on Facebook, which I have open right here in another window. Okay, so I've got Facebook open in another window on my browser, so I'm going to message her. So this is where I used to get stuck. Oh my gosh, Melissa's up. What do I say to her? How do I do this? And so the biggest question we got from Teamzy users the first couple years was, what do we say? So we built for you a library of scripts for you to use. And these are not salesy, cheesy scripts, guys. They're just ways to connect. So look, I'm going to go to scripts. See right here? And I'm just going to grab a script to connect with her. Just a quick, easy script. Facebook. I'll take the first one off the list. Connect number 1. Here's how it reads. It says, "Hi, Jane. Just stopping by to say hello. How are you? I hope your day is awesome." Okay, super simple. By the way, this little script is probably the most effective script ever for connecting with people. So look, I'm going to copy that script, and here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste it in here into Teamzy so I can edit it. Obviously, her name's not Jane, so I need to change her name. Here's the thing. Now, we joked about this a minute ago, but always call them by name in the messages. Don't call them hon or sweetie or buddy or whatever. Always call them by name so they know you're messaging them. Okay? When you reach out, "Hi, Melissa, just stopping by to say hello. How are you? Hope your day's awesome." The other thing I like to do is put in a couple of, emojis, just to kind of spice it up a little. Okay, so look, now I've got the message just the way I want it. I'm going to actually copy that so I can go send it to her in Facebook. I like to do all my editing in Teamzy. That way I don't send the message by accident with the wrong name. I've done it. I've done it. It's okay. You can recover, but it's not fun. So let's look her up. There she is right there. Okay. So I'm going to send her this message. Okay. Sent. Great. So that has now been sent to her. I'm going to toggle back to Teamzy and I'm going to log it. So you can log any kind of communication in Teamzy, right? It doesn't have to be Facebook Messenger. That was just my demo. You can log whatever you want, however you connect with somebody. But I'm going to log that was a Facebook message. See the blue button that says log connect? When I click it, it's logged. Now she's gone off my list. Melissa's gone. My list has moved up. And you can see right here on my dashboard, I've got 1 done, 8 left. Next person on my list is Jay. Now look, you can just use that same script. It's on my clipboard. I'm just going to paste it in there again and change the name. Don't overthink, just get them done. Look, I've still got the emoticons the way I like them. Great. I'm going to copy that. We'll toggle over here and we'll send Jay a message. There she is. Do you guys see how easy this is? Send message. Don't send money. We want them to send money. Right? Again, my goal is just to make her day. She's going to go, "Oh my gosh, great to hear from you. How are you?" Right? So again, log that, log connect, done, 2 done, 7 left. Do you see this little blue circle filling in? That's my visual cue. When I get to 9, which is my goal, this blue circle will be all the way filled in and I'll know I'm done with prospecting today. You're just done. Tools down, go to the next list. So I'm going to keep going down this list until I get to that circle all the way blue. Then I'll go to my next list, which is customers. And now I'm going to connect with customers in a similar way, just to connect to make their day. Now, look, this is the number one thing people mess up in this business is they don't stay in regular contact with their customers. And when they do, they're always trying to sell them something. So that's not fun for the customers. All you need to do is be in contact. Okay? When you're in regular contact with customers, by the way, they will order more products and they will retain longer. Now, some of you are like, how do I do that without selling to them? Look, just think about it like this. Imagine going to a great restaurant and having an excellent service. How many of you have ever worked in restaurants or bars? Any of you guys? Okay, good. So you guys get this. How many of you have eaten in restaurants or right? You guys have everybody. A good server is present often, but they're not always coming by going, would you like to buy something? They're just checking in. Are you having a great time? Is everything delicious? How's everything going? Do you need anything? Does this make sense? So look, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to connect with Abigail. She's the first customer on my list today. And I'm going to go to scripts in case you need help. You can go to scripts and get a script. Simple script. Okay. Maybe something like this. Congratulations on great results. You're doing so great. I'm proud of you. Do you guys have people getting great results? Yeah. Wouldn't it be great just to hear somebody go, congratulations on, you just lost 5 pounds. Congratulations. I saw your post. How about this script? Hi, John. How are you enjoying the products, right? Replace the word the products with what they're using. How are you enjoying? Okay. Please send me an update and let me know how I can be of help. These are just simple scripts to stay in contact with customers. I'm going to use my favorite one, though. This is my favorite one. Hi, Jane. Just checking in to see if there's anything I can do to make your day. If you never use that one, send that one to your 10 favorite customers tomorrow and see what kind of response you get. It's going to be awesome. So look, I'm going to send her that one. Hi, Abigail. Boom. Same thing. Paste the script in, change the name. See if there's anything I can do to make your day. What emoji would I use? Probably this one. Great. You guys with me? So I'll send her the message just like we showed you, log it in Teamzy, work my way down my list, staying in touch with my customers, super easy. My goal is just to message the next 6 customers that come up on my list today, just again, making their day mindset. When I'm done messaging my customers, this will start turning pink and I'll be able to go to distributors. Now, just real quick on customers, there's one more like really amazing reason why you should be in touch with your customers. How many of you can think of at least one customer you just, oh, I just love this customer. I want 100 more like her or like him. Do you guys have somebody like that? Where do you go find them? Is there a special place you could go find them? Is there an Instagram class we can sign up for to find them? I joke, right? Here's the thing though. The best place to find great customers is from your current ones. Okay. You guys know this is true in any business. The ones you have now are worth more than the ones you don't know yet. They already trust you. Right? So here's what I want you guys to understand. As you're connecting and staying in touch with customers, it becomes much more natural for you to have conversations like, hey, Melissa, I know you've been having amazing results. I'm really proud of you. And it's been an honor for me to serve you as your coach, helping you through this process. And I'm sure that you're telling friends and family about what's going on in your life. You probably have some of them who need information on Xyngular right now. And I want to make sure they're well taken care of. Melissa, is there anybody that you know who needs more information on Xyngular this month? Because I want to take care of your people first before I get too busy. Right? Some of you are going to rewind the tape 10 times to get that one written down, but it's all good. I've been doing this 20 years, so it rolls off my tongue. She's going to go, actually, oh my gosh, so funny. I was talking to Lisa and Kelly about it yesterday, and we were just joking about it, and they probably would appreciate some more information. Great. Would you do me a favor, Melissa? Would you introduce me to Kelly and Lisa so that I can get them some more info? Whatever's easiest. Group chat on text, Facebook message, email, what group email, whatever's easiest for you. Do a quick intro, and I'll get them some more info. We'll take it from there. You guys think you could do stuff like that? It's easy to do when you're in touch with your customers, but let me just tell you something. That works all day long. Now she's introduced me to her friends on a group message. Guess what that means? It means they now trust me. Why? Because they were introduced by Melissa. Now I can get to helping them. I don't have to sell them. I get to helping them. You guys know how great Melissa's doing. She's down 15 pounds. So how can I help you? It's a different conversation, isn't it? It's way more fun too, by the way. Way more fun. Okay. By the way, when Melissa's friends both are interested, guess what I now have uncovered with Melissa? A new distributor. Right? Now I'm going to circle back to her and go, hey, thank you so much for your friends. And, I really appreciate the trust. They're both interested. Have you ever thought of being a distributor? Because before I sign them up, we could build them under you right now and get you some of your products for free. What do you think of that? Some of you guys are like, the light bulbs are going off. This relationship system, systematically connecting with people, opens these doors to really help people And you're not having to convince people of who you are and what you do because you're doing it through relationships who already trust you. Next, talking to your team. The next step is your distributors. You're going to talk to your team. So when you're done with your prospects and your customers, you're going to talk to your distributors. Same way, just reaching out to encourage them, say hello, let them know you're here, let them know you're proud of them. There's some scripts there for you, by the way. Now think about somebody upline from you guys, like, like the superstar upline celebrity person in your team. How cool would it feel to get a text message from that person saying, hey, I just saw that you signed a new customer yesterday. Congratulations. Good work. Right? Just a little something like that. Wouldn't it be amazing? That's what you get to do for your team. Now you have Teamzy. Okay? Stay in touch with your team because it's all about relationships. That's why we named the product Teamzy. It's all about the relationships. People might come because they like the product, so they need a little extra money. The reason they stay in the business is because they love the team. They love the community you build. They love the dynamic. Make sense? All right. So prospects, customers, distributors. My goal with 150,000 a year was to connect with 19 people. That's just outgoing, sending outgoing connects. You should be able to get that done in 30 minutes, even if you're new, especially if you're using my scripts. Make sense? You guys see how easy that is? You just send them out. Now, just a little pro tip on this. Some people will respond immediately, and I want you guys to don't stop and have the conversation till you get all the outgoing messages done. Okay, so you don't get sidetracked. I just got to share this with you guys. Somebody recommended a team member to Teamzy 3 days ago, and she jumped into my boot camp, which I do. Her name's Megan. I just got to share this. She just messaged me 3 days ago. She started her free trial. Right? She says she messaged me today. Okay, wow. Out of 16 people I contacted today, 12 responded almost right away, and they were all super positive. I have a new client signing up tonight and plans to chat with someone else to make a plan to reactivate her account. Hashtag Teamzy works. That's your first date. Pretty cool, right? Some of you have experienced that. The second half of your power hour is doing follow-ups. So the first half is these outgoing messages, prospects, customers, distributors to make somebody stay. The second half is your follow-ups list. Now, there's nobody on my follow-ups list because follow-ups in Teamzy aren't automatic. You have to set them. And what the intention is of the follow-ups list is when we've had a conversation and I have shared the products with you or a product solution for you, or I have shared the business opportunity with you in some way, now you're on my follow-ups list. That makes sense? So the follow-ups are the people we filtered through all these conversations who are interested, and now we're following up like a professional. Now, let me just give you an example. And I know I'm running long, so I'm going to try to be quick as I can so I can get to questions. I message Melissa, hey, how you doing? She responds, great to hear from you, Eric. How have you been? We're great. Right? And it's like usually that conversation just falls off a cliff. Now it's your job. She's responded, oh my gosh, this is great. Now it's your job to try to engage her in a conversation. Pretend you bump into her at the grocery store. Okay? So what you're going to do is just engage. Well, so how's everything going with you guys? How was your holidays? Did you guys do anything fun? Send me an update. It's been forever. By the way, that's my favorite phrase. It works like a charm. It's been forever. Send me an update because people will just do it. They'll just give you the update, right? Now we have things to talk about. Oh, my kids are doing this. Oh, great. So now we can talk about it. When she gives me her update on her family, on their holidays, on their home, on their work, guess what I'm going to do? What would be natural? I'm going to give her my update. Here's what we've been up to. Here's what my kids are up to. Oh my gosh. And I'm going to tell her about my work. Guess what my work is? Xyngular. I don't know if you know this, Melissa, but I started my own business a couple years ago. It's been amazing. It's been the best thing I ever did. Why? I don't know. What's your story? A couple little things about your story. Maybe something related to what she told you, right? People usually complain or joke about their pain points in their life. Listen for those and just, if she's complaining about how it was great, the holidays were great because she got to be with her kids, but now she misses them because she's at work all the time. Let her know that the thing you love about your business is it's helped you be home with your kids. Maybe that's part of the story. Are you guys with me? The other thing that will happen is if you have been consistent on social media, a lot of these people who you haven't talked to in years will immediately start commenting on your life and you didn't even know they were watching, which is kind of cool. Hey, I just saw you got back from the Caribbean. That's so cool. I guess you guys went to Panama. Oh, you just got back from Panama? What was that like? Right. And so you're like, so now you're talking about your business. The trip to Panama is a business conversation, isn't it? So, now you're having a great conversation about the business. So as I'm talking to her and we're just having this great conversation, it's totally friendly. I'm not trying to pitch anything to her. And I can feel that she's kind of enthusiastic or supportive of what I'm doing. What I'm going to do is just ask her, would you like to learn more about what I'm doing? Would you like some more information? And this is just an easy way, you guys, to transition over to the follow-up and see if she's interested. And she says, yeah, you know what? Sounds kind of cool. I think I would like a little bit more information. No worries. I can get you some. So we figure out what works best for her. Maybe I'm going to invite her to an event online that we're hosting as a team. You guys do those? Maybe I'm going to get her on a 3-way call with my upline so we can just talk about it. So whatever it is, when I've uncovered some interest, now I'm going to bring her to an opportunity where I can share. Make sense? So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to show you how I do it. For example, I'm going to go to this lookup bar at the top and look her up because she's no longer on my dashboard. I got to look her up. Okay, there she is. That brings me to her contact record. So let's say that she gets on a 3-way call with myself and my upline. We talk about the business. How would I log that in Teamzy? Let me show you how this works. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick the type. Let's do 3-way call right here, 3-way call. And then I'll put my notes about our call, right? So we're on the 3-way call. We have a great conversation. We share the business opportunity with her on that call. She needs to talk to her spouse, so she's not ready to sign up right then. So now I'm going to put her on my follow-ups list, but I'm logging this in Teamzy and see where it says share in the bottom left. When I click on share, I can actually determine what was it. Did I share some products or the business opportunity? So I'm going to click on business opportunity. So now this is going to log it as a share in Teamzy, one of my 3 for today. And you see that it turned on the follow-up list. See how it just turned yellow? That's the follow-up. So I can set a follow-up for any point in the future. It defaults to 2 days just to make it easy for you. But let's say I'm going to follow up with her tomorrow. Okay. And so now when I log this in Teamzy, it's added the follow-up to her record. So what it did is actually took her off my prospects list temporarily and put her on the follow-ups list. So a couple of things here I want you to see. See, I've got a share logged now. And when I go to follow-ups, there she is due tomorrow. Okay, the follow-up is due tomorrow. Super simple. Do you guys see how easy this is? Now look, tomorrow when I do my power hour, guys, so whenever you uncover interest, you try to find an opportunity to share the products or share the business with somebody, and then you get them on that follow-up list if they don't close right away. So your power hour looks like this: prospects, customers, distributors, just like I showed you. Then you go to your follow-ups list, and any follow-ups that are due today, you send a message to. Super easy. So let me just give you an example of this. So I'm going to go, let's pretend it's tomorrow, and this isn't due till tomorrow, but pretend it's due. I'm going to go to scripts just like I did before, and I'll get a follow-up script. Now, one of the things that I recently did was I added all my follow-up scripts into the scripts library for you because people struggled with how to follow up. So here's number one. Follow-up number one, it reads like this. Hi, Jane, just checking in like I promised I would. What questions do you have for me? Okay, super simple. It's all about her. It's about helping her. So I'm going to use that script, change the name. Okay, great. The same way, we're going to send her the message like we did before. Okay. Sent the follow-up message, done. Now I'm going to log it in Teamzy. Now, real quick, important on this, before you send it, before you log it, I mean, set a new follow-up. So click on follow-up, set a new one. Let's say I'll follow up now in 2 days. Always set a new follow-up. You want to keep her on this follow-ups list basically forever until she converts. Okay? Because she's in a different category. She's somebody who has now seen the business opportunity. So we're going to follow up differently. Now you can leave yourself a note. I love this little feature. Next time I'm going to send her follow-up number 2. Then I don't have to think. I know exactly what it's going to be. Okay, so let me log this. That's how you do it. Simple, right? Now real quick, then we'll do Q&A, but I think it's important to talk about this. How many of you have heard the term the fortunes in the follow-up? Of course, everyone says that. Why does nobody do it? Nobody does it. Let me give you guys an idea of what it actually entails. Did you guys know this? 80% of all sales happen between the 7th and the 10th follow-up. Dawn's going, yep, it's true. but I hate it. 80% of all sales happen between the 7th and 10th follow-up. How many of you guys are like, I'm not following up 10 times. I got to get off this call now because I'm not doing that, right? How many of you are, your biggest fear is that you're going to be seen as the most annoying human on the planet if you were to do that? Really? Nobody raised their hand? Usually everybody does on that. That's my fear. I don't want people to think that of me. There is a way to follow up without being annoying, though. People will thank you for it. Okay? I'm going to teach you real quick. I know we've been on a long time, but I'm going to teach you real quick how to follow up without being annoying. There's 2 things to do. But first, I want you guys to understand this. How many of you guys have had somebody that you thought was really interested, you were excited about them, and then when you went to follow up, no response? Now everybody's raising their hands. Crickets, right? You follow up again, nothing. You follow up again, nothing. You've experienced this. This is 100% normal. Okay? Most people will not even respond to 6 follow-ups. I know. It stinks. But it's the truth. Now, are those people not interested? Absolutely not. A lot of those people will join your team or join your business. They're just not going to respond to the first 6, maybe even 7. They're not going to respond at all. Nothing. Crickets. Most people will give up on them. Okay? Here's what I want you guys to know. All the stories that you make up to justify them not responding are not true. You're making them up. The husband's a jerk. They have no money. It's the economy, whatever. All the stuff you guys, right? I saw on Facebook that they had a small fire in their garage. That must be it. Like, you guys start on team calls. Well, what happened? What happened to Melissa, Eric, that you were talking to last week? Well, Georgia didn't win the national championship. That must have been it. That's why she's not interested right now. You're making stories up. Here's what I want you guys to understand. Here's what's really happening. I talked to Melissa. She's excited. She needs to talk to her spouse. Great. Then she goes back to her regular life. I message her. Hey, you have any questions? I'm here for you. She's like, oh yeah, great. And then like, oh my gosh, the baby's thrown up on the dog. I have to go. She puts her phone down and goes and handles her life. Right? A couple days later, I message her again. She's in the middle of preparing some food. She can't touch her phone. She's not going to respond. A few days later, maybe she's driving her car. I don't know. The point is, the message never comes at the moment where somebody can respond. And when somebody's not going to respond to you, they don't even usually open the message, right? So you think they're not even opening it, but they're reading it, aren't they? How many of you guys read messages without opening? So understanding this, you need to understand that you need to follow up with people longer so that you can help them. So I want you to shift your mindset from the thought that following up can be annoying to this. Following up is an act of love. Following up is an act of love. If you're in this business to help people, you need to understand this is how you love people through the process. And when you do not follow up on somebody because they annoyingly didn't respond, you have communicated, I don't care about you. Oh, just another one of these network marketing jerks trying to get a sale off me. Oh, nobody. How many of you guys don't want that to be your brand? So we need to follow up and show people our love. Now, here's how to do it without being annoying. Make sure, if you haven't been taking notes up till now, write these 2 principles down. If you use Teamzy and use my scripts, all of my scripts employ these principles. Okay? Number 1, never ask anyone to do anything in your follow-up. Don't ask them to call you or text you or even respond. They don't have to do anything. Don't ask them to do anything. Okay? It's like on you that you'll keep following up. Make sense? Number 2, when you send a follow-up message, they must be able to read it. They have to be able to read it. So no voice messages, no video messages. Okay? Why? Because sometimes you can't listen to a voice message or a video message right then. Then they may never get it. Are you guys with? How many of you guys have small kids or grandkids in your life? Have you ever noticed that when the phone starts to get near your face, they like suddenly turn into the loudest creatures in the world? It's impossible to listen to a voice message for me anyways. I have 4 kids. There's no way I can listen to a voice message during the day. It has to be after 9 p.m. and I have to remember to go back to it. Make sense? So they have to be able to read it, and it needs to be short enough they can read the whole message without opening it on the lock screen. So remember, don't ask them to do anything. Send messages that can be read and are short enough to be read without being opened. And when you follow up that way, it's never annoying. What will happen is they still won't respond, but they'll always see them. And a little ways down the road, maybe after 6 or 7 reach outs, follow ups to them, they're going to say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry that I haven't responded to you. Thank you so much for staying in touch. Okay. The other thing is people will really feel good about you as a business person this way. Many times when they join your team, they'll understand right away how important the follow-up is, because you've actually, not only are you getting customers this way, but you're training team members on how to do it. Make sense? So now that you understand the principles of how to follow up without being annoying, how you apply it in Teamzy, super easy, guys. You just go in each day, you do your power hour, you connect with your prospects, connect with your customers, connect with your distributors. As you uncover interest, you share your business or your products and put them on the follow-ups list. Second half of your power hour, going down and sending people a follow-ups message. Send a message and set a new follow-up. Consistently applied, what this does is every single month, you have new customers and new team members joining the team consistently every month, right? And then you take those new team members and you teach them this system so they can do the same thing. Make sense? Okay. I know there's a lot I didn't show you, but I wanted to give you as much as I could in this hour. But I want to open it up to questions. If you guys have some questions, you have the ability to unmute your microphones. Feel free to ask me anything. I'd be happy to answer anything. Oh, I do need to give you action steps real quick. So wait, before you do that, let me give you your action steps. All right, real quick. So the coach in me has to do that. All right. Here we go. First thing you need to do is get on your free trial if you're not in the free trial. Okay, get on your free trial. It's free, teamzy.com. Get on it. Any team members that aren't here today on this call, get them on the free trial. If you're already in your free trial, get your subscription set up so that you don't miss a beat. Because what happens is it just will shut off after 30 days if you don't set up a subscription. Now, one thing I want to tell you about, which is really exciting, is because we're so excited about Xyngular and this launch that's happening with your community, we're giving you guys a special offer. We're giving you the ability to be founding Xyngular members of Teamzy, which means that, so Teamzy, the pricing on Teamzy after the 30 days is $29.99 a month, right? 30 bucks, less than $1 a day, less than 1 commission. But for Xyngular, if you guys lock it in your paid subscription before the end of March 31st, you'll be a Xyngular founder, which means that you can lock in the rate of $19.95 a month forever, for life. So it's like a third off for life. It's a pretty good deal. Even more if you go a year at a time on your subscription, you can save even more. So make sure that you guys get locked into that and take advantage of that, or you're just going to pay kind of the normal price after that. And let your team members know it's a great opportunity to try it for free and lock in a good discount before March 31st. We really want to get, we want to lower the barrier so we can get as many Xyngular people in and really create some momentum with your community, because we know what kind of impact we can do on your mission by having us involved. So make sure you guys do that. Second action step, I highly recommend you get a 30-day success partner to work this trial with you. Now, some of you are through your trials, it's fine. Still do this. Get a 30-day success partner and say, hey, let's really do this together. Hold each other accountable. Set goals together. And then what I recommend you do is you take a screenshot each day when you're got your Teamzy completed for the day. Take a screenshot and text it or message it over to your success partner. You might even have 2 success partners. That's fine too. Because what happens is, and I used to do this in my business back, when I was working in network marketing myself, which, by the way, just to let you guys know, I don't do network marketing. There's no conflict of interest. I just do Teamzy because it keeps me plenty busy. But I would get this message from my success partner at night when I had done nothing. And it used to make me so mad because I had to do it. I had to. I'd pull out my phone, get on Teamzy, and send my messages. It will help you get the most out of it. In fact, you could very well have the best month of your career working with a success partner or partners to do that. And finally, I'll give you a 5-day challenge. Here's what I challenge you to do during your trial or whenever. Use Teamzy 5 days in a row. 5 days in a row, don't miss a day. And over 5 days, connect with 100 people. I mean, send messages to over 100 people. 20 people a day. It's super easy to do. Because what will happen is it will blow your mind. Have any of you guys already done this much in Teamzy? Isn't it mind-blowing how many conversations you have going? See, what happens in our business is people go, I don't know where to go, or I've used up my warm market, or, I can't get anything happening. It's not true. In 5 days, you can blow your brains out, basically, in a good way, with your business, just by messaging people and connecting with people. You'll create so many conversations. You may feel it a little bit overwhelming, but I want you to understand that successful people are just as overwhelmed. They're just overwhelmed with opportunities, not worries. It's a different place. It's a good place. It makes sense? And there's a couple things you can do to kind of manage that. One thing I recommend you do is, you've got your power hour where you're doing your reach outs and your follow-ups, but I recommend you set aside maybe another hour in the day or half hour in the day just to respond to messages so that you're not doing it all day long. So I had a full-time job, so I did 30 minutes of my lunch break. I responded to messages, and then in the evening after my kids went down, about 9:00, I would answer messages. And that kept me sane, because otherwise I wanted to do it all day long. So it's all good. Does that make sense? Okay. Got your action steps. Now let me do the questions. So if you have questions, unmute, ask away. Happy to answer them.
I guess I will start because I've got several. So the first one is anytime in the future, is there going to be an app for it?
There's an app in production, but we have a mobile website now that works awesome. Have you used it? Let me show it to you. Let's see. So what you do on your phone, you just go to Teamzy on your phone on Google Chrome if you have an Android, or on Safari if you have an app. So look, here's my phone right here. Right, I'm sharing my phone, so I'm going to open this up. So I got Teamzy saved on there. Make sure you click remember me. All right. So here's Teamzy on my phone. Get rid of all these messages. So there's my goals for the day. I can connect with people the same way. I can get my scripts. It's all on my phone. You guys with me? And then what happens is, let's say I'm going to send a script via text message. I can just toggle over to my texting app. If I want to send it versus, let's say I'm sending it to Megan. See, that was a real message I wrote you. So I would paste my message in here, boom, 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 send it to her. And then I would toggle back to Teamzy and log it. So you can do it all on your phone. Does it make sense? It's pretty cool. Most people, I would say, are working on their phones primarily with Teamzy. Okay. So there's one, Melissa.
Okay. And then the next one, is there a cap to the number of people that you can add into your Teamzy?
You can add as many people as you want into Teamzy. There's no cap. Now, if you added 100,000 people, it may slow down your functions in your Teamzy a little bit here and there, like, searching lists. But I don't really recommend you work a list more than about 5,000 or 6,000. So,
and then the last thing, sorry.
Oh,
Okay,
that's just a recommendation. If you're going to have a list, if you really want to stay in touch with more than 5,000 or 6,000 people, you just know you're going to be investing more than an hour a day.
Okay. And then the last thing is, can you customize the time for the stars, or is that a set amount of days?
You can customize them under settings. Yeah, okay. Those are the amount of times that I have found work best in my years of coaching, but you can set them to whatever you want under settings.
Thank you.
That was easy. Anyone else have questions?
I was wondering, and I emailed and haven't heard back yet, but I have almost 5,000 Facebook friends, and I have added some people already into my Teamzy and just following up and doing things like that. So if I add that list, is it going to re-add people? Or if they're in here, it's not going to re-add them, and I don't need to worry about that. And do you recommend adding that many people in at one time?
Okay, good question. So if they have the same name as somebody who's already in Teamzy, they will not import a second time. So, and the same is true if they have the same email address. So, for example, if you import your Facebook friends this week and then you get 100 new friends and you want to do the whole list again, it'll only add the 100 new people. It'll ignore all the people previously. So it's an important question, Lisa, because this is why it's important when you do your imports, when you first set up, that you put your team in first, then your customers, and then bring Facebook in, because your friends and customers are probably I mean, your team and customers are probably Facebook friends too.
Yeah.
And so they won't import again. So you want to make sure you get them from the back office first, because that has like their address and phone number and all that. Facebook will just have their name. So that's important. So so to answer your question, it will not duplicate those people. Now, there are going to be random places where you'll see a duplication. For example, LinkedIn, people put like all their graduate degrees after their name. So that will look like a different name. So sometimes they'll import, and there's a merge tool in Teamzy where you can merge. If you see that somebody came in 2 different ways, you can merge them. Okay. So, but that's going to be a small percentage. So that was the first question. The second question is, do I recommend you bring in all 5,000? I think 5,000 is manageable. I think that for you not to bring all of them in would be a lot of work. How are you going to determine who out of that list? You're going to have to do a lot of work to sort them. Whereas if you bring them all into Teamzy, you could actually do the sorting in Teamzy much more efficiently, because you could go down the list and just hit the trash can on people you don't want in there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I would bring in that whole list. But the important piece of it will be to go through and do a quick ranking so that you make sure the people you like the most are at the top of the list.
Okay.
And
I've pretty much already done that, since I have my team in there and my customers are already in there from my back office.
Okay, great.
So can I just follow up with that question on Facebook? Does it bring in their entire Facebook name? Because, you know, some people have their first, their maiden, and their last. Is it going to match? You know, if I have Andrea Gunn, but then it brings in Facebook of Andrea Simon Gunn, is it going to recognize them as the same person?
If they have their maiden name, it may bring them in again. You may have to merge those.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then would you recommend like bringing all your Facebook in as like a category 1 and then sorting them, you know, then maybe just going and picking out your most active prospects and changing them?
They're going to come in. They default to a category 3-star when they come in. And I think that's probably the best place.
Can you change that
before
they all come in?
You can set it to whatever you want. When on import,
Okay.
you can change it. It defaults to 3. The 3-star people come up every 90 days on your list, which is a good flow. 1-star, you wouldn't want to do 1, Andrea, because 1-stars are completely suppressed from the power hour. They don't show up. So 2 would be your minimum if you want to bring them in lower, but you can do that for sure. The other thing that we usually do, we auto tag Facebook contacts as Facebook. So,
great.
So they'll always be tagged as Facebook. So when you see them in there, you go, oh, Facebook. I'll go message them on Facebook. So you can add tags on your own to imports as well. That's one of the few instances where we auto tag it for you.
Okay.
And
yeah,
so
I have to say.
Are you done, Andrea?
Yeah, I was just going to say I had a issue with importing, and I was really impressed with how quickly you guys were able to jump on it and actually import it for me, and I really appreciated that.
Oh, our pleasure. I mean, that's one thing I want everyone to know is we have an awesome customer service team, which you can talk to via email, but also we have the opportunity for you to get on live Zooms with our team like this, one-on-one, and they can walk you through. You can even just go take control of my computer and do everything for me and set up my Teamzy, which we'll do for you if you enable that screen share with us.
That's awesome. I had one other question. I mean, I've been with Xyngular for 7 years, and I know some other people on here have been on as long. And so my list of people who want to know about promotions and specials is long, really long. And a lot of these people I have followed up with religiously, maybe too much, you know. So what ranking would you put them at a 1? Since, I mean, sometimes I feel like I've literally worn them out at this point.
Yeah.
Does that make,
What you may find.
Yeah.
Honestly, Lisa, when you reach out to them with just a, hey, how are you message, you may be surprised that some people will respond.
Yeah. And I'm doing some of that as I'm working in Teamzy, just, hey, how are you? And because we've literally had specials for the last 3 months, I think.
Yeah.
And I am very diligent about letting them know that, and sometimes almost too diligent about just doing that because there is so many people, you know.
I wouldn't offer specials to people that haven't interacted with you in a while. I would focus on reconnecting.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Just reconnecting.
Yeah.
Like, how have you
Yeah.
been? It's been a long time since we've actually talked. How are your kids? Like, just reconnecting with people person to person. Does that make
Yeah.
sense? Because part of it is rebuilding that relationship. And maybe you didn't have any relationship. I know, like, you know, in my business, I used to get these, corporate would give me leads that people had filled out a form on their website that they wanted info. And so I would get these leads that came in that were super cold. They didn't know me from Adam. And I would send them a message to say, hey, I'm your assigned Beachbody coach. And,
Yeah.
you know,
And that's what a lot of mine are. I don't have, they've either rolled up to me because the person who added them to our results page isn't working anymore. You know, I don't really know them. And so I was thinking going through and just checking out their Facebook page and commenting and, you know, building relationship with them.
So what I would do is just fire off one of these scripts, one of the friendly scripts from Teamzy to them. Don't give them more than 3 seconds of your time, but don't delete them either. So, you know, just stay in touch with them, be dutiful and do it, because you never know. I'll just tell you a quick story. I used to know this guy, Mike. Well, I still know this guy, Mike, but this story happened in the past. So I'll make it in the past. Mike's a real estate investor. He lives down in Mississippi. I live in California. So we don't see each other very often, but we knew each other so my background's in the real estate industry. That's where I do my coaching and consulting, right? So random. We knew each other through that connection. And I started connecting with him. He was a 3-star, so he came up every 3 months, and I'd send him a message. He never responded. Send him a message. He never responded. Right. So this went on for about 1.5 years. He just came up. Every time he came up on Teamzy, I thought, should I just delete him? He never responds. Right. And then I thought, it's going to take me 5 seconds to send this message. So I'd send him a message, whatever. So after about 1.5 years of this, he responds. Hey, Eric, sorry I haven't responded in your messages, man. I don't really do Facebook that much. That was what he told me. He goes, but I have been watching you and I've been to your website and I am interested in getting involved. He says, can we talk this week? And I also saw that you did a live video about why it's better to come in as part of your team instead of just a customer. So I think that's what I want to do. He had it all figured out. It all figured out. The thing is what I learned from that is I'm not gonna make a judgment based on zero information when it takes me 5 seconds every 3 months to stay in touch with you. Does that make sense? So what I think you're in a really good position. I think that list is valuable, that where it can be, you just don't want it to be a time suck. Yes. Right? So you
That's what it feels like right now.
You know, but right now you're going to shift gears and we're just going to try to connect, not try to tell them about trying to get a sale, but just try to reconnect with them and see, you know, find the wheat from the chaff, so to speak, from that list. Yep. If that makes sense.
Okay. Thank you. I hope that was helpful for other people too.
I'm sure we all have the same challenges, don't we? Let's take 2 more questions and then I'll bless you guys and send you on your way.
Eric, they made the comment about somebody said that you can share with another team member or your upline or downline or something like that. How do they have complete access to everything that you're doing? What does that look like?
Let me show you. This is really cool. So team leader can create a team report. So what you do is in your Teamzy account, actually anyone can create one. So see where it says team report on the side? Click on that. You can see I haven't even turned it on yet. So here's the team report. And what it shares is this: how many connects they've made, how many follow-ups, how many shares they've done, how close they are to completing their goals for the day, right? It shows their dailies. Those are things like, did you use your products you share on social, right? Did you do some personal development work? And how many people they've added. This is all it shares. It doesn't share names. It doesn't share contact information, anything like that. But in order to get this information from your team, they have to opt in to share it. So what you do is you click on invite your team member, you put their email in, and you hit invite. They'll get an email. When they click the link, then it links up. Or this is pretty cool, Melissa. You could do this tonight. You click invite your entire team, and it will invite every single team member that you have listed in Teamzy as a distributor. So if you've imported your whole team list under distributors, if they're all in there, it'll invite every email address there. It'll send them an invite to join the team report. If they're not in Teamzy, what that link will do is ask them, do you want to start a free trial? Pretty cool, right? So that's a really amazing tool. I use it. So for example, I do boot camps where I teach people how to use Teamzy and do relationship marketing each quarter. And I use that team report. Once a week, I create a leaderboard from it. So I do the leaderboard. Here's the people who are doing the best activities, and people go crazy to get on the leaderboard. Oh my gosh. But the other thing that I do is so the leaderboard are the people doing the most activities, but then I also do leaderboards where I see who's at 100% of their goal, 80% of their goal. Somebody might have a smaller goal. It's still awesome that they're hitting 100% of it, right? The other thing that the team report is really useful for a leader is to see who's not doing anything and to encourage them. And now I tell people they should use that team report on live team calls. And everybody knows that at some point, Melissa's going to pull up the team report. What that means is that usually, because people are wired this way, a couple days, like the night before the team call, people will actually get in Teamzy and do some work. Because they don't want to see zeros on their name in front of the whole team. And we're just wired that way. We want to please other people. So lean into it. That's okay if it helps you be successful, right? So that's really powerful. That's what I found as somebody paying me. When people pay me to coach them in their business, they do all the work the day before our coaching call. They don't do anything in the 2 weeks in between. You know what I mean? So that's just the way people are wired. All right, let's take one more question. Any more?
Well, I'll ask the last one then if nobody has any. I'm actually using the tags to put in like who the person's upline is, like, because I've imported all my distributors to put in who they're. Can you sort by the tags?
Yes, absolutely. That's why they're there. So you can create tags easily for anything. One of the things, for example, if I go back in here, I've already created some tags in my Xyngular account here. You can see I've tagged some of the products. I would always add their tag people's products, what they're using, so that you know. Now, if I wanted to click on any one of these tags, it would give me on the full list of everybody with that tag. Oh, wow. So let's say you put, for everybody who got an ultimate, you tagged them with that. When you click that, you would see everybody who ever ordered that. If you want to sort by tags, you can see I've already sorted by ultimate. Then I could go to tag options or filter tags, and I could add another tag. So I could filter down more tags. So you can put a whole list of tags and like make it more narrow. But other things that you might want to tag is, where people live, like what area they're in, if they're local. Like another tag that's popular is just the word local. So if you're doing a live event, you can click everyone who's local and invite them, right? Tags are just ways to create groups that are going to be interesting to your business. If you guys do, and I don't know if you guys do this, but if you do like specific events, you can make a tag for that event, and then you tag. What I would do is I would create an invited to the event tag, and then I would create an attended to the event tag. If that makes sense. So as I'm inviting people to an event, I tag them with the invited to the event. So now I have the whole list of everybody I invited. So when it's time to follow up and remind them they're invited, I've got the list. Then after the event, I go through everybody who attended. I take off their invited tag and I add the attended tag. So now I know everyone who attended, and I know all the people who had invited and didn't attend. So I can continue to invite them to my next thing. Does that make sense? So like the tags are just really useful ways to do additional things other than the power hour I showed you today. You get a new product, or you guys are saying, Lisa said you guys have had a bunch of specials. Something goes on special, and I can pull a list of everybody who's used that product in the past. Right? So that's a more targeted way to release a special. Say, hey, I know you bought this in the past. It's on special. Would you like to get stocked up? Cool. The tags are huge. Now, if you guys want to get more into the tags and how to use them, I did a special training on this in the Teamzy Help Center. I'm going to go there and show it to you real quick. It's one of these videos here. and it's called, on these pro tips, it's called, our webinar, here it is. It's called Organize Your Contacts Using Tags. That's exactly what it is. So there's a training that I did on that you can watch if you want to go deeper into how to use tags, different ways to use it. Hopefully that will be helpful to you guys. There's so much here in this help center for you guys to explore as well. The other thing I want to talk to you about, just real quick, since I'm talking about it, going back to Teamzy. The Teamzy University right here, these are specific trainings. Obviously, some of these trainings you can purchase because they're deeper business trainings. But this first set, the Ultimate Mindset, this is included. It's free. So there's like a complete training on goal setting in here that you can use. You can put team members into how to get your why. And some of the training I gave you tonight on relationship marketing, all that's in there for free. You can leverage that. And then as you really get into the system and you want deeper trainings, there's trainings in here that you can purchase that can help take you to the next level. So check that stuff out too. Okay. I know I've spent a lot of time with you guys. God bless you guys for staying with me. Oh my gosh. This must have been valuable. Did you guys find some value?
Definitely.
Okay.
And we are so appreciative. And thanks everyone for getting on. And I would encourage you to go and get it tonight. Encourage your team to at least try it out. I mean, it's absolutely free. They don't ask for a credit card. And I will tell you, he had mentioned earlier, in the first week, 2 people popped up on my customer list that had rolled up to me that I did not even know, that both of them had repurchased an Ultimate this month. Old customers. So in 1 week, I paid for 8 months worth. You know, it generated that kind of income. So I'm just telling you, it's a great way. I have found it invaluable. I wish I had had it 4 years ago. So thank you, Eric, for taking your time tonight and coming on. And thank you, everybody who got on. I love y'all so much. And again, we'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
Thanks for having me. God bless everyone.